I do personally to try to gain more from a ruin like Barnard Castle spiritually? Well, perhaps one, I could, I understand, almost broke my windscreen. Well, perhaps I could look at the history of Barnard Castle and find out when there was a battle that took place with 2,000 rebels surrounded the castle, as far as I'm aware, and it eventually had to give up and surrender to the rebels. Right, I'm in Barnard Castle. Barnard Castle was quite substantial in its heyday. Somebody called the Balliol family became very powerful in the 12th and 13th century. The castle was lost. Their son John became King of Scotland, but in 1296 he was defeated in the battle by Edward I. Hundreds of years have passed and mankind has not learned. Now I have come to see if I can pick up on spirit, but I'm not sensing anything at the moment. I'm just hearing the word chivalry, which is standard for those days or those years. So what I usually do is just have a walk around and see if I can pick up on anything. Alright, I've got something. I'm walking right beside you. Where are you? If you're walking beside me, come forward. Step forward, not to the side, and let me sense your presence. One of the things when you come to sites like this, you have to stop yourself imagining scenarios and imaginary happenings rather, and trying not to let your mind wander, because it's so easy. We did it as children. It was called pretentious. And as you grow older and start to do what I do and communicate with spirit, you have to eliminate this pretentious side of you and let go of your imagination. It's I'm being told by spirit it's a free will strategy. It's kind of I think they're trying to show me that it's what we call betwixt between. Betwixt between, obviously we can understand somewhere between your imagination and I'm being given the word values, that these are the words I'm being given: values that reset the purpose. I'm also being shown it's like the jovial side, hocus pocus, looking in a cauldron and trying to see things that are in the cauldron, but it's just a jovial scenario, that it's not real. But I've got nothing at the moment. I can feel my throat chakra tightening up, and that's where I tend to pick up on spirit. It's a nice place. But what I was just saying about your imagination, you try to let your mind wander and see a vision of what your mind thinks, the happenings that were around here. How many people worked here, worked and lived here. And these two birds are distracting me. They're having a scrap. Thank you, pigeon, for distracting me. Yeah, as I was saying, you have not to let your mind wander to a point where it's your imagination takes over. Some more realistic spiritual values get pushed aside. It's a child's play. It's a child's play that you cannot let happen. We nearly had something happen in here. What's going on? One of the things I'm going to do is, normally on the outside wall, you place this EMF meter against the outside wall and you can pick up, almost guaranteed, but not totally guaranteed, to set a trigger on the EMF meter, and it will go crazy in some places. Churches, I've proven, churches are one scenario where you place it on the outside wall. And sometimes on castle walls, stately homes. So there's something to do with spirit, some sort of protection, some spirit, or I don't understand. It's like a bubble or a dome. That covers the whole scene. I've seen it, I've experienced it. But not in this case, but I will keep trying further along. But what a place! Come on, show yourself. Like here, see? It's the outside wall, and I did say on the outside walls that you will get the EMF meter triggered. The other place I've seen them, and it's very, very strong, was in a place where they lay out bodies ready to see and view. It's a nice place. Rickety worn out steps or stairs where the timber's starting to rot, so you have to go careful, kind of worrying that something will suddenly give way. Oh, ouch. Let's see what's down here. Yeah, as I was saying about the energy field, there's a film that's been made, and it became a TV program where a dome suddenly appeared over a whole town. Well, in this case, it's kind of similar to that, where an energy dome, it's similar to heat haze when you're looking through a car window when you're driving, or windscreen, and you can see this shimmering. Well, there's an energy source around everything, especially in places like this. So the other areas, as I said, the places like churches and stately homes, castles, ruins, this energy source is there to be seen. This is the kind of place where your imagination can take over, because it has no understanding as to what it was. So you have to imagine what it looked like, presumably with people coming down here and going through some form of gate, portcullis, and your imagination can take over as to just how many individuals stayed here. I know they, from reading what they think is the history about this place, it was quite substantial, with a number of people, and it was under siege during some form of rebellion, and eventually surrendered to the rebellious individuals, 2,000 of them as far as I'm aware. And then the King of England at that time built up some forces and came to quell the rebellion, but the castle was lost. I like it. And here's me forgetting to get my EMF meter out. What a strange wall. I've not seen one like that before. Well, the brickwork insets, or the holes, they're all uniform, or almost all of them are uniform, or have some form of structure to them. I wonder what all that is. I've never seen that before. I wondered what it was all about. Now you're going. Something or someone, where are you? That was just a fleeting moment. Something triggered it. It's here. Come on. I wonder if it's something to do with you. I don't... This isn't my imagination. I'm just getting dead deceased. I'm wondering if somebody in those days was buried around here. Two of us. Where are you? Yep. Here. I'm picking up there are two of us beneath your feet. And I'm also getting the word slaughter. I do believe I'm going to stay here and try and communicate with them. although the rain's coming. So if you're still here, why didn't you go to the light? And I think what I'm picking up is that that it's something to do with Christ and God loves you wherever you are. You can see an energy field if you train yourself to look around the outer edges of windows. There is a process to train yourself to see these energy fields. There's an energy source around everything. You can put a salt and pepper pot or a vase or any form of item rather on a table and stare at it. Eventually you will see an energy form surrounding it, an aura. And then you start to look at people who will openly sit for you, and if you stare at them long enough you will see the energy field around that individual, and then you will start to train yourself to see the aura around that individual. You'll start to see colours, and that's another kind of spiritual training that some individuals are gifted at, to be able to see all the colours in your aura. And similar, if you stare at the outer edges of a tree, you'll see an energy source all the way around it, and then after that you start to try to sense the energy form, and you can actually feel it. I love this tree. I'm told that where we're standing is or was a tower of sorts. The other words I heard is it was in keeping with tradition, standards. It's kind of how they're trying to explain it to me. It's kind of like I'm being shown like a row of terrace houses, and somebody has got a certain type of window and the neighbours want to copy that, and then it kind of spreads down the street where people are copying each other. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, or the understanding I'm getting, is that this is a standard way, or this was a standard way of building related to situations expected. And I'm getting also similar to building the ditches, because one castle had a ditch, another castle has a ditch, and copies what others are doing for the sake of safety, and also for the sake of protecting yourself. And the other words I'm getting now are one man's meat is another man's poison, and I'm being told all thereabouts. So I understand, and I'm also to enforce that situation or force that scenario. I'm being shown like having a flashy car. Just because they bought it, you want one. This is the Great Ditch, a defence mechanism, and it runs up to the outer wall, and on the top of that wall were buildings, and over here was a pond. So it says they've excavated it, so they reckon that that's what it was. Don't you just wish you were around in those days to be able to witness how they were living, see their standards, their mode of dress, I'd like to get to understand their fears, their diets, what they were up against. How did they pass word to different towns? I am now in the middle ward, known as the Many Gates because it linked the three outer wards of the castle. It served as a fortified entry area or barbican through which every visitor had to pass in order to get to the inner ward. As well as this defensive role, it also contained buildings such as stables, accommodation for some of the castle's officers. I'd love to have experienced the kind of clothing they used to wear. Oh, I'm wondering what this is all about. This looks strange. That wall looks a bit precarious. And my EMF meter's gone to sleep. You can well understand the buildings beyond here. The stonework I can see must have been robbed from this castle at one stage. Hence the term robbed out. Nothing is sacred. It would kind of be like if you were you put all your heart and soul into building your own home, and when you pass away the neighbours came and started taking everything and destroying your house. It's a terrible situation. You kind of finders keepers. What have we here? The Constable Tower. Less than half of the gate tower survives. Clear that it was square. The entrance passage flanked by guard rooms on the ground floor. Above there were at least two further stories. Under the southern portions of surviving gate tower you can see a pair of arch culverts which drain the moat between the middle and outer wards. Yeah, well, keep trying. Again, and I can see it, I don't know if you can, is around this rim of the window. All inside is a shimmering energy. You have to train yourself to believe in it and to understand it. Motham Tower, 5 stories high. But this is like any historic building. I just wish I could see it in its pristine condition. 2 windows in front of you are 14th century, but are set in recesses which may be the remains of a 12th century arrow loops. This floor of the round tower was for storage and domestic use. There is a garderobe toilet in the passage behind you. So that was a toilet. No central heating, no radiators, no towel rails. Wow, hello. I'm picking up something about coughing. Disease was, oh, coughing. Wow, is there? How about that? They were small. God, you wouldn't get in there. Coughing. Ah. That's what's great about being clairvoyant. What's this, a well? A chimney. Oh wow. That's cool. I love things like that. I'm wondering if this has been used. Nah. Gotta go up. They must have been small. I can hardly get through. Oh, I'm stuck. Come on. That's pretty cool. Now we have someone. Oh, it's the keeper. Oh, I can't get down. Truth. I'm too big. Too friggin' big. As I said, they were smaller in those days than they are in this day and age. I can't get through. Ooh. along here. Oh, these floors are so uneven. Privy.
Down.
Mind your head. Oh, we're here. So, what have we gained by wandering around Barnard Castle? Well, today personally I would say it's no big shakes, a kind of bit of hit and miss affair, if you understand my meaning. This is